French football is on the decline. Kylian Mbappe has departed PSG. So what's left? A lot of deep-rooted history, but not a lot of commercial viability. I mean, Ligue 1 struggled to even find a TV deal for the 24-25 season, resorting to the in-house Ligue 1 pass, which has probably lost them an eye-watering amount of money. Some French clubs are trying to claw their way into the rift left by Mbappe's departure, as there might have been some hope of a collapse by PSG in the division, but no such luck. PSG have remained largely dominant in Ligue 1 so far, with the greatest threats coming from Adi Hütter's AS Monaco and Roberto De Zerbi's Marseille. To topple PSG in terms of their status as a powerhouse will demand something truly exceptional. Marseille have had a squad refresh, exploiting the market and bringing in the likes of Mason Greenwood from Manchester United, El Yawahi from Lens, and Adrien Rabiot as a free agent. Under new manager De Zerbi, it's been good, but will it be good enough to seriously challenge for the title? I seriously doubt it. Monaco are decent too, grabbing Mbappe's literal regen in the form of George Ilikiena from Antwerp, Paris Brunner from Dortmund and Thilo Kehrer from West Ham. Luis Enrique's side are still the obvious favourites to win the league. So much of this chopping and changing of PSG's nearest rivals is likely meaningless. I truly believe these waves in French football won't topple PSG, but some recent sporting news could mean a new Parisian rival is on the horizon. Jurgen Klopp, Red Bull, French football. What do these three words have in common and how are they converging? Let's find out. Let's predict a football revolution. I call it Project Paris, but who knows what the rich businessmen of Red Bull and beyond are planning to do with second division French side Paris FC. Formed in 1969, FC predates Saint-Germain and is the reason the Qatari-owned club exists after a rift in 1972 caused a split, resulting in the modern Paris Saint-Germain and Paris FC clubs we know today. The club spent a large chunk of their history as a lower-tier French club, even dipping their toes into amateur sports operations for a number of years in the early 2000s. Although they have long been in the shadow of PSG, there is a serious possibility of substantial investment in the dormant Parisian club. In recent times, a French revolution has been on the cards, as energy drink company Red Bull has been linked with a majority takeover of the club to add to their sizable collection. The company started their journey in football in the very place where they were founded, Austria. In 1987, Dietrich Mateschitz founded Red Bull after being inspired by Thai drink Krating Daeng. After a boom in growth in the following decade or so, Red Bull looked to expand into an affiliate market that could help them grow further, the sporting world. On the 6th of April 2005, SV Austria Salzburg was taken over by the industrial colossus, having its history wiped and its name changed to RB Salzburg. This purchase coincided with Red Bull's wider plans for sport, including F1, where they completely rebranded the Minardi team that competed in the sport for 20 years, from 1985 to 2005. 4 years later, in 2009, Red Bull purchased the playing rights of fifth-tier German side SSV Markranstadt. They were renamed to RB Leipzig, also known as Rasenballsport Leipzig, and well, you know the rest. Smaller but still notable takeovers of clubs happened in this period too. New Jersey Metro Stars were taken over in 2006, becoming New York Red Bulls, who would play in the MLS. Club Atletico Bragantino was saved from administration by Red Bull in 2020, with the blood sacrifice being their history and identity, becoming Red Bull Bragantino. Now in 2024, Red Bull are looking to hunt for another club to add to their portfolio. It would seem Paris FC is the club to face the prospect. However, something has fundamentally changed with Red Bull's footballing philosophy this year. Where they went hot and heavy with ground-to-ceiling changes with clubs like Leipzig and Salzburg, they haven't followed that with investment in English club Leeds. They've had a lukewarm influence on the championship side, buying a minority stake and becoming the club's primary kit sponsor. It's rumoured that the Paris FC takeover will be a majority stake buyout, but I can see a potential RB Paris side falling somewhere between the two strategies. Okay, so Jurgen Klopp. After leaving Liverpool at the end of the 23-24 season to be replaced by Arne Slot, the German has become the head of football at Red Bull. What does this mean? Well, put simply, Klopp will provide vision and strategy for getting Red Bull clubs playing at the highest level from January 2025. This is no coincidence, as I predict Klopp's new role will be very closely aligned with the takeover of Paris FC next year. The timing of Red Bull's revolution in the French capital would be immaculate, as this is the greatest period of uncertainty in Ligue 1 since Nasser Al-Khelaifi's purchase of PSG in 2011. The Monaco and Lille successes in 2017 and 2020 were obvious outliers and anomalies, with much of Monaco's success hinging on the brilliance of a young Kylian Mbappe, who PSG would buy anyway at the end of the season, and Lille were a clear one-season wonder. There is a definite gap in the market for a major rival to the Parisian giants, and Red Bull have never been put off by fan opposition or an apparent David versus Goliath situation. RB Leipzig rose through the ranks of German football and arrived in the Bundesliga after less than a decade of their restructuring. They were also the first team since the creation of the 3 Bundesliga to win promotion to the 2 Bundesliga after just one season. Paris FC would have a much easier mountain to climb, and with the financial ruin the French divisions are in, see Exhibit Bordeaux, the side that currently sit in Ligue 2 could be transformed within a season. A very attractive proposition for the ludicrously rich energy drink brand. The club has been sat in and around the playoffs in the last few seasons, so have already had a taste of promotion-winning football. If I was the head of Project RB Paris, I'd also be looking at my venue. The Stade Sébastien Charletti has huge potential, located right near the centre of Paris, actually closer than the Parc des Princes of PSG. It all sounds great, right? Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room, the commercialization of football. Red Bull's takeover of pre-existing clubs has faced massive moral and ethical objections and complications. A group of SV Austria Salzburg supporters formed a Phoenix Club after Red Bull's systematic wiping of their club's history. A tragedy for those supporters who have felt alienated and scraped from the club they may have supported their whole lives. RB Leipzig is a massive breach of the German footballing philosophy 50+1, also known as majority fan ownership, that has helped the majority of clubs stay community driven and fan involved. Leipzig ignores this, increasing membership fees for its democratic voting systems and reducing the number of its influential members, essentially exploiting a loophole in the regulations. In the case of Paris FC and French football, it is far more lawless and the perfect playground for another footballing experiment, guided by the wisdom of Jurgen Klopp and the organisation's experience in making their clubs play at the top level. Come back to this video if I'm wholly wrong. If Red Bull challenged the French footballing pyramid, it might be exactly what it needs: revitalisation and competition, even if it's another Red Bull invasion.